NewGenGamers.com.
The wind just whipped up again, up to 24. Jeez.
That's the challenge on
We're
yours.
going to be in a windstorm here.
Those clouds are moving.
Look at them. Yeah, the clouds are keeping up with the wind.
Oh, this is... Now, you'll also notice the mountains change every time, too. So I've got a tough shot here because I've got to arc it directly over that little mountain in front of him and try and pop it onto him. Or I could try and bust up the land in front of him and get a shot that way. So a little bit of strategy involved. For being kind of a low-end game
powder.
company, this is fun.
Yeah, Chuck Norris wasn't a horrible game in comparison to other stuff out at the time.
Wow.
Because basically, you know, how many games did you have that perspective in?
Yeah, it was something different. It just kind of repeated. And as far as the battling of that guy, you just battle him.
Yeah, just the one guy.
He keeps coming after you, apparently. Oh, I have been damaged. 13% damage. Warning.
Oh yeah, I played a lot of Worms back in the day. If that says anything.
And I had worms.
Worms is not a good thing to have because
No.
when you poop, they'll hold your poop together. I've seen it happen to dogs. So there I took the tip off that mountain a little bit, so maybe I can get one arced in there on him now. Ray's got my positioning down pretty good, so unless that wind changes, I may be in trouble. Curse slam, that was bad. That was it. Done. Exploded.
Wow!
So Ray has taken the best of 3 tournament of artillery duel. Chuck Norris has won the day. I think it's time to move on to another cartridge. Let's end the double ender.
Time to move
Something
on.
you would never really see. I think that's the only company that ever tried that I know of. So if you got a Coleco, double your fun with a double ender. We are playing Popeye, and you'll notice, of course we won't have these in all these, but there was no load-up screen on this one. This is a Parker Brothers published title. This was another early Nintendo arcade game, but
collect the hearts.
but published by Parker Brothers. And also another thing we noticed with this cartridge is that Parker Brothers had their own cartridge. They shape. They had kind of a weird shape, and all of the Parker Brothers games were shaped like that on the Atari 2600 and on the Coleco.
You got the spinach, go get him.
So now Popeye has turned completely green because he's high on spinach, and he's ready to kick ass. Once he gets anyone who, at this point, maybe younger people don't know much about Popeye, I don't know, but Popeye...
That wasn't spinach.
Popeye is an old cartoon character that he was a stereotypical Irishman that was a sailor, and he would eat spinach to gain strength because his antagonist Bluto, which would be that big red and yellow blob up at the top or in the middle, would always kidnap or harass his woman Olive Oil. So Popeye would have to eat some spinach and whoop some ass. And he would go,
Funny side note, Olive Oil, the character design was based on a member, I believe it was a member of Congress or something, I can't remember exactly. It was based on the one woman who voted against going into World War II. So look more into the history of that. I mean, that's an interesting fact.
I never
that was
knew.
Basically the artist who drew the character's way of giving her the middle finger, basically, because she's married to a Navy man, or she's engaged, or whatever the hell they were. You know, she was kind of a lush, I guess, in a sense, or not a lush, I get not that's the wrong word, kind of a whore, because you know she's got this strong man Popeye eats his spinach, and then Bluto's always coming along and trying to steal his bitch, you know.
well,
and
she wasn't really willing,
she never
though.
really
It was more...
went for it, but he was, yeah, what a dick. If you kids out there don't know about Popeye, you need to check out some of the stuff, and check out the Robin Williams movie. First film that Robin Williams ever starred in, he played Popeye, and I'll tell you what, dead ringer.
Yeah, he did a really good job on that. He's got the hairy forearms, and he did the voice really well, and the look. I almost forgot about that movie. It's kind of campy nowadays. It's kind of humorous, but not bad. And I didn't know that was his first movie. So,
yeah, that was his first film.
So there you go, gang. You've got your Popeye trivia here. Popeye was, of course, popular in the 1940s before there was television. You would go to the theater, and it's not like our theaters today where you just go watch one feature-length film. That was your evening's entertainment, so you would get a bunch of different programs. You'd get the news, you'd get some cartoons, you'd get a movie.
You get your serials back then.
Get your...
Back to the Buck Roger idea, even a Batman cereal back then.
Yeah, so, that was your whole form of entertainment besides your radio. So Popeye was a big star during that time. This is before the Looney Tunes and any of the big cartoon series, besides, of course, the aforementioned Walt Disney.
Well, and let's also go back to the fact that Nintendo, the Popeye, originally Miyamoto had wanted to get Popeye for Donkey Kong, or do a game based on Popeye, and he couldn't get the rights to the character, so he ended up doing Donkey Kong. Eventually, he did create the Popeye game.
So there you go. Donkey Kong is a poor man's Popeye, and then they came along and did the Popeye. This is a tough game. You've got to
collect the hearts. A certain amount of them, and then avoid the nemesis there. And Bluto, is that his name? I always want to say Pluto, but it is Bluto.
It is definitely Bluto.
Where's the hamburger guy? Where's that dude at?
What was his name?
I can't remember.
It's been so long since I've watched Popeye.
He
loved cheeseburgers. There he is.
In the bottom left.
He was fat and portly, and he always wanted cheeseburgers.
He's the all-American man.
He loved cheeseburgers.
And this is based on the Nintendo game, but as we said, it's done by Parker Brothers.
Well, this is the Nintendo game. It was just published by Parker Brothers.
Okay, I see.
This was before, I assume, either before or after Nintendo had the publishing deal with Coleco. And so Parker Brothers published this.
And we do see a lot of influence from Donkey Kong, but this is a whole different experience altogether, and there was an NES version of this.
Definitely a different game.
Yeah. This is...
And there he got him. He's knocked Bluto off the screen. Go get olive oil. Jump on...
Go get her.
Jump on Ollie. Is his name Ollie or something?
I can't remember.
I can't remember the fat dude's name. Oh! Look at this.
And the baby up there. And that thing. So
his name was Sweet Pea.
Sweet Pea the baby. And this...
I don't think it was a nephew or something, wasn't it?
I always felt bad for Popeye. He tries so hard to get to that skin foot of a woman, and seriously, he's trying too hard, It's like she should be begging him for some attention, and the poor guy always has to fight his way to her. This anorexic queen of the frickin' boonies, look at her.
He's a dedicated man. Popeye stands for things. He stands for war. He stands for eating your greens. And he stands for defending your woman against guys that try and kidnap and have sex with her.
And the spinach, that they believe there was a lot of iron in spinach, more than there is, and that's what they were trying to promote: children eating their iron. Once again, using a cartoon character to get kids to buy stuff. We see this in marketing all the time. We still do it all the time. Camel Joe, I miss him personally. I say bring that fucker back.
And those spinach people really know how to market.
Oh, no doubt. They're selling their leafy greens. But, it's a fun game. This version of it's a little bit different than other versions I played of it, but it's still a tight game and difficult. Yeah, I gave the remote up to Ray because I was having difficulties.
It's a good port.
Oh, absolutely.
The graphics aren't quite as good as we said with the other ones, but the thing that Coleco did right was
control.
Answer all my questions and you'll get an incredible prize. Start with this QuizWiz computer and this book of 1,001 questions. Then go on to other quiz books.
The book of lists.
Facts, figures.
Superheroes.
Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman.
And,
Robin.
Music, TV.
People.
From Bantam Britannica Books.
Disasters. I've answered them all. Now what do I get?
The Smarts.
The Smarts.
QuizWiz, the more you play, the smarter you get.
New Gen Gamers.com.